Hello everybody, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Deckmaster 41, aka Jason Lee here. Decided to show you some replays of my current deck, the Invoked Tenyi OTK build. Not going to say it's the final build of the deck, but I figured I'd try my hands at a combo deck, one that couldn't be easily countered, as I said in the previous video. Here's some of the duels that I got for it. So I'll be playing against Catalan in a match, Salaman Great versus my deck, of course. Let's see how it goes. Okay, we're going to start with him going first, sign at mining, doing the whole combo, so, you know, summoning Gazelle, sending Spinny. Oh, God, Balinks. Yeah, you know what? He goes quicker than I do. Okay. Let's see. So, Reincarnation Link ended on Sunlight Wolf, reincarnated. Let's see, this is Salaman Great Rage. This is the one that pops, right? So you can pop twice. Super Polymerization, and Called by the Grave. Not bad. And he also has a Gazelle in hand. Okay, I open up Gamma-Sil. Of course, you're going to fire off that Gamma-Sil right off the bat because you do not want to deal with that crap. When I go to play Invocation, I felt like he rushed the gun there with the Rage a little bit. I mean, wait until I put more on the board before you go doing that. Of course, I summon into my Shaman effect, discard to summon out my Mares, get my tokens, token, go into Sarah, as I like to call her, summon out Draco Berserker, get out a good, nice, big Tenyi token, and kind of proceed to do some damage. I then, of course, link into Link 3, and that was actually my one mistake there, because both it and Berserker are dark. If you're ever in that situation and you're worried your opponent's playing Super Poly, I strongly advise you, stick with like a Monk. He may be a little weaker, but if you've got stuff like Nahata in the grave, Monk might be a better option because he's Earth. I didn't think that through. Actually, honestly, I thought Berserker of the Tenyi was actually Earth, to be honest. I don't know why, but for some reason I was thinking he was Earth. I knew Draco was dark, but I thought he was Earth. But I learned real quick he wasn't, but that's okay. Come the start of the turn, I'm going to make a 28 token. That's at least something. Now, of course, he attacks it. I'm able to, you know, use Nahata to destroy it, but of course my cards get destroyed. And what's my first card? Double or Nothing. Oh, that's going to help me. Oh, I'm so helped. So now I'm on kind of like the mend here. He's to 500, I'm to 8,000. But he's got some Foxies and a Falco on the field. I'm able to go into Monk, but it's not like I'm able to do much with Monk. He does have Rage. And he goes into Phoenix to pop the back row thinking it's something threatening. Of course, it's just Double or Nothing. That's fine. When I go for the attack with Monk of Tenyi, of course, he goes to for the Rage. I activate Mapora's effect to negate and destroy that card and attack for the final bit of damage, using Nahata's effect, reducing Phoenix down to 400. Now, of course, I did draw into Parallel Exceed, but no way to benefit from it because, you know, he's level 8 and I have no way of link summoning. Alright, so let's go into game 2, shall we? Swamp. Okay, so game 2, he goes first again because why wouldn't he? Summons Foxy, Peacock? Foul? Okay. I don't know my Salaman Great monsters very well, I gotta be honest. Goes the Balinks, that, you know, gonna pretty much go the whole similar combo for what they do. Reincarnation Wolf, Sunlight, you know, get the Sanctuary. He has Rage, and he has Will of the Salaman Great set. Not bad, not bad. I do have Evenly Match. I have Vessel, Twister, because remember this is a sided game, so I would have sided in Twister. Nahada and Ashana in. So I do have some options. All depends on this next draw. Gamma Seal's always a good option. Going to activate Twin Twister. It's going to kind of force them to activate or not activate, which is pointless. But you probably think there's no real way to win game 1 with this deck. But I'm going to go into Monk. I'm going to add myself Shathana from deck to hand. Keep in mind, both are level 4s. I can special summon Shathana, and then normal summon Nahada, go into Utopia double, add double or nothing, yada yada, Utopia, attack, negate, and basically do fuckload of damage right there, 78, and then attack for Monk for game 1-0. One-shotting his ass straight up. I gotta admit, these replays go by a lot quicker than I can actually talk in half of them. But hey, I guess that's good. You kind of get a little bit, and you don't have to deal with my annoying voice for too long. All right, so let's go to the last game. This was a 1-0. The guy kind of rage quitted afterwards, and I didn't get to finish the game. But hey, this is going to be against Balloon-ish Shozer. Edge Imp Sabers in his opening hand. Farfa the Malburn to the Burning Abyss. Sidetracker. Skarm, and of course Tour Guide. I'm opening up with Adahara, Nahada, Mapora, Vessel, and of course my boy Alistair. They're going to go first Tour Guide for, what is it, Graph? Yeah, Graph. Going to go into our boy, do the whole combo there. Summon out, Psychic Tracker to go right into Dante. With, I want to say that's Seer, is it not? Yeah, Seer. Gonna mill some cards, gonna sell a Phoenix Rhino. Now this is an interesting play. With Phoenix Rhino, he sends double Resonator. And this is actually a combo I could actually see some Burning Abyss, especially Block BA, obviously, doing. Now, what this card does, its on-field effect and Graybeard effect is very similar. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target a face-up monster on the field. It's treated as a tune until the end of the turn. That effect don't matter so much, but its grave effect. You can banish this card from the grave, then target one fiend monster you control. That monster is treated as a tuner this turn. You can only use this effect of Double Resonator once per turn. Well, he has, of course, special summoned out Farfa, and he does this. Turning Farfa to a tuner is able to access Crystron Halifibranx. Which, if you think about, that is an interesting way to include Halifibranx in BA. I assume this is Block BA, though I have yet to actually see Block Dragon, so maybe not, or maybe they just didn't draw it. He summons out Jet Synchron, works his way into the new Mecha Phantom Beast Link. He's going to summon out 3 tokens. Of course, he does have Beatrice on the field. Spoiler alert, he does run more than one Farfa. I didn't know that. That kind of sucks a little. Okay, goes ahead and gets a lion. Yeah, Savage Dragon. Gonna get a negate and a token. 3 negates, technically. And then goes for good old-fashioned Herald of the Arclight. Now, I thought Herald of the Arclight was a Macrocosmos. But technically, Herald of the Arclight is only a Macrocosmos for cards sent from the hand or main deck to the grave. I thought it was anywhere. Now, I know it is an Omni-Negate by tributing it, and if you have ritual stuff, you can search it, but I honestly thought it was a full-on negate. This is going to be kind of a hard board to work through, and of course, during the end phase, adds a tour guide thanks to Skarn. Now, I draw into the worst draw you could have, being Mare. I mean, I already had Vessel, I already had a way to send it. You do not want to draw into Mare. sorry, I got to work through 2 negates, and one thing I didn't even know, I didn't know he was running another Farfa, so I got to work through that too. It's like, what the hell? So I'm going to summon out Adahara and go straight into Monk, activate Vessel. Of course, he sees this, he's like, fuck no. Out goes Herald, goodbye. I'm sitting there going, well, okay, I figured that would get a negate. Okay, let me try to get another one. I'm going to special summon Nahada, normal summon Alistair, activate Alistair's effect. He does give me a nice tech for this one, so I got to give respects for that. Of course, you're not going to let that shit go. No, he's negated, but luckily for Savage Dragon, it doesn't destroy. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go for double or nothing, do this, and he sends the Farfa. And I'm like, wait, what? Ah, you son of a bitch. And of course, Farfa banishes. And I'm sitting there going, well, fuck. Okay, so my mindset here is go into Mapora, go into Shaman, discard Mare, and hopefully make something. I believe I can go for a Draco Berserker. Maybe OTK, but if not, at least get Savage off the field. So, of course, I have a feeling he doesn't have an Ash in hand or anything, so I'm pretty safe. I'm going to go ahead, go into Sarah, of course, target, and then go for that. Attack that. At first, I thought there for a split second he was going to summon out the Pilgrim. I don't remember the Pilgrim's effect, but I thought he was going to summon out the Pilgrim. I was like, oh, crap. Don't that, like, make me discard a card or something? I couldn't remember what it did. I was like, ah, shit. No, he just summons out Dante. Okay, phew, no biggie. And, of course, I get pretty beefy. I go to 5,500, which is kind of nice. I'm able to attack over Boral Savage pretty easily, and then with Sarah, able to attack over the token, or able to attack into good old Cherubini pretty easily. Of course, he sends Dante to get Farfa back, and I'm sitting there going, great. I do still have 1 Mare token on the field, which, of course, should let you know, does keep Sarah's effect online. They can only target it for attacks in effect right now. And the second they start going into big plays like that, I'm like, no. Not making another token. I do have a Nahada in the grave, so yeah. He tries to Farfa, and I believe he tried to Farfa Berserker, and then he realized he couldn't. So he was forced to Farfa the token. Obviously, one of them. Which one are you going to Farfa? Is the strongest. But I had Mapora in the grave, obviously, and negate, destroy. He unicorns it. I had no real way around that. But he does discard Ser, I believe, in the process. And so I use Draco's effect to banish it, because Ser's the one that can keep recurring things with Dante, and I don't like that shit, so goodbye. So he does manage to get rid of the really big token. Ain't much I can do about that. And that's where that sucks. I'm like, son of a bitch. It's not the attack boost that's the problem. I mean, 3,800 is pretty big, but, I mean, come on, I'm huge. I'm 55, not a big deal. It's the fact that if he summons or I summon to a zone something points to, everything goes. But he comes back. And, of course, he had a BA. Of course, right? And goodbye. He summons Chickadoodle. Or Cock-a-Doodle-Doo. Oh, God, that's such a horrible name. And I have double or nothing in hand from Utopia, which is dead because, of course, you know, my Utopia ain't on the field, and I draw him to evenly match. I said it because I don't know what else to do. He goes ahead, summons some plays, ends up going for Virgil. He attacks for some damage, but at the end of the battle phase, I'm able to banish some cards. Okay, I draw into this, and see, he was really smart, and I didn't realize this. I didn't realize that Zeraboros I guess, yeah, Zeraboros, has arrows that point up and down. I knew it was a Link 4, but I didn't know with the placement he put it at, it would affect both extra monster zones. He put it in the perfect placement. So if I try to go into anything, it's going to trigger. My only goal here was to go into Monk, banish that, summon out Vishuddha, go into Lampalinkus, Lampy Boy, that one, and then banish Vishuddha and bounce him. I could have dealt at least 1,200 and would have been okay. But I didn't realize that, and of course when I summoned Monk, I knew the second that thing came back, it really wouldn't frickin' matter. It was the last Monk in my extra deck anyway. I would have had no way of making any comeback plays. Even if I would have drew an Alistair, it wouldn't have mattered. When he would have summoned something back, it would have just... he would have banished it. Unless I happened to have another monster in hand to negate that effect, it would have been game over. And I had a spell. I would have had to survive 2 turns with Alistair to be able to do that. And at 5,200, that wasn't going to happen. So I lost that game, but as you can see, this deck can break through things. I do honestly feel like Tenyi are a lot like BA in the fact that the more names you have, each card of the archetype is literally a starter / extender. You just keep playing, summoning, extending. BA does the same damn thing, especially original BA. They would just summon and extend. Each BA was a starter, extender, and the more names you had, the more combos you could go into. Tenyis are the same way, except instead of just having a graveyard effect that does something, they have a banish effect that does something. So they're not, in some ways they're okay, so they're not as good as BA, fine, but they do run in a similar fashion as BA. They're like the weaker BA, but they still have potential. And I think this build has a lot of potential. So, with that said, let me know your thoughts, and until next time, as always, peace out, rock on!